Today we will be learning about a small town in East Tennessee with a rich history called Corryton. The Corryton Railroad was formerly named Floyd when it was first built for the Louisville Railroad. The railroad attracted many people to the agricultural community of Corryton. The Corryton Library now sits where the old train station resided for years, and it was built to replicate its architectural style. This house was built in 1890 by Captain John Smith, and this is the first family to live in it. Notice the African American housekeeper standing off to the side porch away from the family. My parents rescued the house from dilapidation in 1995. They remodeled it, the barns, and the milk parlor behind it to its full historical accuracy. I lived there for the first 21 years of my life. My great-grandparents ran their grocery store from 1946 to 1983. They lived with their 3 kids in the 2 back stockrooms for 20 years before building an apartment upstairs. In 1983, my great-grandparents retired and sold the store to a private business owner who turned it into the automotive shop it is today. The building has not been altered since 1946. This post office was built in 1905 and sat near the train tracks in downtown Corryton. In 1955, the post office moved into a building next to Longmire Grocery, and the structure then housed the Corryton Library until 1980. My grandfather moved the building to his acreage in 1985. Now, the lighting, furniture, and other objects inside are stored here after they were recovered from other historical Corryton landmarks. Built in the late 1840s, the Walnut Grove School was a college that offered degrees in things such as carpentry and commerce. It closed during the Civil War and reopened afterwards. In 1906, it officially closed and moved to Corryton School. The humble beginnings of the Oaks Daylily Farm began in the 1980s. What started as a hobby by Corrytonite Stuart Oaks turned into a passion and eventually a thriving business. Oaks Daylilies is now spanning 3 generations of Oaks men and has created a Corryton treasure, the Daylily Festival. In this 2-day event, 2,000 to 3,000 people from all over the nation come to visit the farm. This is the final class of the old Corryton School in 1919. Grades 1 through 10 were taught here, and grades 11 through 12 were moved on to Gibbs High School, which is the high school I graduated from. The new Corryton Elementary was built in 1920 and rebuilt in 1936 because of the original shoddy craftsmanship. Grades K through 5 are taught here and continue to keep Corryton a top-achieving school in East Tennessee. The Corryton sector of the Methodist Church started as a camp meeting type church, and it split during the Civil War into the Northern and Southern Methodists. This building was built in 1894 by the northern half of the Corryton Methodists. The Rutherford family gave $10,000, half of the building cost, to build a newer, nicer church. It was completed in 1948 and continues to have services, weddings, and events. I've attended this church my whole life. Built in 1952, this Shell gas station was family-owned and run until 1980. It was located less than a mile from Rutherford Methodist and served a large portion of the community. The Corryton Alignment Center moved into the old Shell gas station in 1995 and used the same building from 1952. The grease pits and original interior are still in use today. The community club was originally formed in the 1930s and moved into Corryton in the 1940s. There was no official meeting place for the community club until this new building was erected in 2004, along with an adjoining fire station. The Knox County Parks and Recreation Department took over the park behind the current Corryton Community Club in the 1960s. This is the original sign that marked the entrance. The Nicholas Gibbs cabin was built by the Revolutionary War hero Nicholas Gibbs in the late 1790s. It still stands today along with the smokehouse and is open for visitors in the same unaltered location. Now you can see why the town of Corryton is a true hidden gem in East Tennessee, because of the way its rich history has been preserved and revered for over a century.